The National Association of Home Builders warns about affordability issues. That's what we'll discuss this morning in today's Backstage Pass. Good morning, I'm James Lopez, President at HomeFi Corporation. First thing I want to talk about this morning is the Federal Reserve. Fed Chair Jerome Powell was voted in again for another 4-year term. So the office of the Chairman of the Federal Reserve has a 4-year term. Jerome Powell, Mr. Powell, has been the Chairman for the last 4 years. Last week he was voted in 4-1 to serve for another 4 years. And the reason why I bring that up is because that leadership role is incredibly important as the Fed really sets the economic policy for the entire country. And so his leadership and his role and what he does will directly affect our industries in mortgage and in real estate. Now, speaking of real estate, everybody knows that a big concern is affordability, right? And we've had this discussion and talked about this for the last few weeks. Well, the National Association of Home Builders released a report entitled Home Builders Warn of Significant Affordability Declines. And they have an affordability index, and what that index showed is that for Q1 of 2022, only 48.7% of homes sold were considered to be affordable by families earning household median income, all right, which is the lowest it's been in the last 10 years. Now, we know that affordability is a problem, right? Interest rates are higher, home values are higher, the cost to build homes is higher. So we know that affordability is a problem. Even the cost of goods, to purchase goods has gone up, from year over year as we look at things like last week, the CPI and stuff like that. So affordability is a concern, but the problem with this report is that whenever you dig into it and you take a look at it, the household median income includes wage earners that are at the very, very bottom of the wage earning spectrum that aren't in the market to purchase a home, right? So we're talking about people that just began working a job, maybe folks that just got out of high school or out of college and are working at their local fast food restaurant or local retail store that are making minimum wage, and they're not in a place to purchase a home. And so whenever you include that kind of data in the report, it really kind of skews the report in a negative direction. It kind of puts it in a negative light. Now look, home prices are up, affordability is up, but rents are up too. And whenever you really take a look, and we've talked about this in the past, when you look at rents, and rents have been gone up significantly year over year right now, and you look at that versus homeownership, you don't get all the benefits of homeownership whenever you rent. You don't get amortization and you don't get appreciation. My point is this: whenever we read headlines like that, we need to take it with a grain of salt, and we need to dig in and take a look at the story within the story and really understand what the data means and what's there. It's easy to see a negative headline and go negative, but when you dig in, there's more to that story. And here's the deal: we need to focus on the things that we can control and the things that we can do and stay positive. All right, now jumping into the mortgage bonds this morning, mortgage bonds have been incredibly volatile this morning. Right now they're up 25 basis points. At one time they were even, at one time they were down about 5 basis points. But consistently so far this morning, they've been up around 20 basis points. What that means for mortgage interest rates is that they should open, at least where they closed out on Friday, maybe just a little bit better this morning. The 10-year yield is down about 5 basis points, and that's been pretty steady, so that's going to be a pretty good indicator for us. So we should see mortgage rates open a little bit better this morning. Now, last week we had a lot of volatility. The CPI report that came out produced ups and downs all week last week, but we did stay within ceiling and support. So we're hoping to see, really if the floor of support can hold for mortgage bonds, we start to see those bonds level out. What we'll start to see in the coming weeks and months is the interest rates start to level out, cap off, and start to roll back down. So that's something that we're looking for and earnestly hoping that that begins to happen. Now, as far as news this week, not a lot of news today, but there are 2 major news items that are going to come out later this week. On Wednesday, we've got the April retail sales report, and then on Thursday, we've got the Philly Fed Business Index, which is going to come out. Both of those reports tend to move markets a little bit, so we'll bring you that news as it comes. Until then, like I said, let's focus on what we can do, what we can control. Stay positive. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.